So the Packers have submitted a proposal to get the Tush Push banned. This is not the first time that NFL teams have tried to see the Tush Push banned. This is Mark Murphy's statement about it. You can pause to read. The crux of it is that it shouldn't be allowed. It has players pushing another player. They were supposed to have banned that. What even is this? Why not just do a normal quarterback sneak? Whatever. Bills coach Sean McDermott also came out and said he doesn't like the Tush Push. He thinks it's dangerous for defensive players. He doesn't understand how it's legal. He doesn't understand why, it's like the QB sneak works. This is, essentially just a bastardization of the QB sneak is like, I'm paraphrasing it, but that's kind of what he's saying. And first of all, I'm pretty sure the Bills tried to run a Tush Push and did it unsuccessfully. So that's rich. But also they run a QB sneak incredibly successfully because they have a massive quarterback who can do it. They have a super high conversion rate on their own QB sneak. Not as high as the Tush Push, but they run it a lot, and Josh Allen scores a lot of touchdowns that way and converts a lot of first downs that way, right? So, okay. Bill Cowher thinks it's not a football play. He thinks it's like, oh, this is rugby, this is a scrum, whatever else. Surprising, shock of all shocks. Yeah, there's some crossover between American football and rugby. I think we all know why, right? There's foundational elements of rugby and football. There always has been. Anyway, when did offensive innovation or defensive innovation, for that matter, become a bad thing in the NFL? This is a classic case of a team looking at the personnel that they have and figuring out something that they can do that is unique and different, that gives them an edge over other teams. That's how innovation happens. And then when there's offensive innovation, the defenses learn how to adapt to that and how to defend it. Sometimes it takes a little while, right? The Tush Push has been a successful play, a highly successful play, nearly undefendable for a couple of years now, for a few years, right? With Jalen Hurts specifically. So now teams have to figure out a way to defend it. There's never been a thing that's never been able to be defended before. There will be some team that figures out how to do that, at least to a higher success than they have so far. I want to see that. I want to see how teams figure out how to stop the Tush Push. I want to see other teams learn how to successfully run it, if that's the case, right? A lot of offensive innovation starts with a team having the personnel to do it, and then other teams say, you know what, I think we can go and get our own players who could kind of do something like this. And then there's offshoots of it and whatever. I want to see the game grow and be interesting, right? We went into this passing boom and things got kind of crazy and defenses really couldn't stop the pass the way that they used to, especially with the rules. And so there had to be new schemes to account for that. And then they started to be able to do that. And then we've seen a return back to kind of a power explosive run game. And we saw the years that Saquon and Derrick Henry had. And that's been great to see the run game start to be incorporated back into these teams, into these elite teams more than it was. We don't have to have the quarterbacks on the best teams throwing 30, 35 times a game every single game. That's interesting to me. I want to see these things ebb and flow and change and grow, and banning the Tush Push because so far no one's been able to stop it. Especially when there's no evidence that players are getting like super injured because of it. I have not seen evidence of that. I have seen evidence of, having a major issue with quarterbacks sliding on the sidelines while safeties and linebackers are screaming, 25 miles an hour at their head, sliding and basically inviting a chance at not a head injury, right? Not only getting hit in the head, but knocking their head on the ground. I've seen a lot of things that are very dangerous in football right now that need to be addressed. And the defensive line against the Tush Push hasn't come up that frequently. So I feel like that argument's a little bit disingenuous. Learn how to run it yourself. Learn how to defend it. Learn how to adapt it. Something, right? I don't know what you guys think, but I like to see these kinds of things in football. I like to see teams learning how to use their personnel to a major advantage, especially a team that used it all the way until the Super Bowl. For a while there, Tyreek Hill was so fast that no one could defend him either, right? Like, was that an advantage? Should we not allow wide receivers to run 25 miles an hour straight down the field? Tyreek Hill isn't some glorious, route runner. He's not the most skilled wide receiver in terms of the actual position. He's not Antonio Brown, right? He's not somebody who can run every route in the playbook, every route tree, whatever. He streaks down the field. He's faster than everybody. And if you can get the ball to him, he's catching it. People figure things out. You learn how to defend certain offenses. I want to see that. I want to see defenses adapt. I want to see offenses adapt because that's why I watch football. That's just me.